Hello, lovely people. Welcome to my kitchen. Today, we are going to prepare some vegan okra stew, vegetarian type, purely vegan, and we're going to add some swallow to it. This is garden eggs and cabbage swallow. You will really enjoy this. You'll know that you can still be a vegan or vegetarian and still be on a keto diet. And so let's know the ingredients we are going to use for this our wonderful recipe. So I have this okra. I decided to chop them into this. You can decide to grate it. And I'm also going to make use of some leaves, and the leaves, the names are boma, ayoyo, and alefe. So this is a mixture of alefe and ayoyo. That's what I'm going to use. And I'm also going to add boma to it. So this is boma. Yes, these are boma leaves I'm going to add. And I have some sliced onions and tomatoes that I'm going to use. Some mushrooms here for our protein. I have some chunks. These are soya chunks. And I'm using cucumber and garden eggs. You can decide to cut the garden eggs into very tiny form, and also red oil. We are also going to add the Dawadawa, negro pepper, bay leaves, and some natural mixed spices. So we'll blend everything together. We'll add this to these onions, peppers, garlic, and ginger, and blend everything together. I also have some all-purpose seasoning. Yes, and so I have my water on fire, warmed up or boiling. I'm going to add my okra to it and allow it to cook. I'll add a half teaspoon of or quarter teaspoon of baking soda. Yes, just to help it to get that slimy form. Okay, I'm also going to steam my chunks. And so I add the chunks to the boiling water. Add half teaspoon of all-purpose seasoning, and I'm going to add a bit of salt, not too much, just a little. Yes, you don't need too much for this. And I'll allow it to steam for some time. So I'm going to add these together and blend. I'm not going to blend the negro pepper and the bay leaf, no. Okay, so we are checking on our chunks. The chunks are ready. They are cooked. You don't need to cook it too much. So this will put the fire off, drain the water, and then allow it to dry, cool down a bit, or yes, cool down a bit. Then we are going to fry it. I'm going to fry this to be very dry, like crunchy. I did 20 my better grill. And I'm not maybe a bayan. And so mbechoma I is anka. So that's what I'm going to do. And so the okra is ready, and I've added my leaves to it. That's the ayoyo and the alefe. I'll also add the boma leaf to it. But for now, let me stir everything together. Yes, this way. And so you see, it doesn't matter how you cut the okra, because at the end of the day it will melt. Okay, so I'm adding the boma to it, and I'm stirring everything. I'm not going to cook this for a very long time, no. Because I'll add it to the stew, I don't need to cook it. I'll just put it off. We are checking on our chunks. Okay, so as I said, we are going to fry it for it to be very, very, very dry. Yes, or big grill. So this is okay. The okra, this is okay. We're going to put it off. We don't need to cook it for it to be very soft, no. So our saucepan is on fire, pouring red oil in. Then we'll allow it to warm, and I'm going to add some bay leaves and also negro pepper to it, just to give it that wonderful flavor. Yes, give it a very nice flavor. And I'm going to add some onions also to it, and stir fry it for some, maybe a minute. Yes, just a minute. And I'm going to add my blended ingredient. That's the onion, garlic, ginger, pepper, and dawadawa to it, and allow it to cook for 3 minutes. Yes, I'm going to allow it to cook for 3 minutes. Then I'm going to add my tomatoes to it. So this is it, cooking very well. So I'll add my sliced tomatoes to it and give it time for it to cook for about 5 minutes. I'm going to let it cook for 5 minutes. So I'm going to slice or chop my mushrooms. Yes, then I'm going to add it to the stew. So this Yes, it's still not dry as much as I want, but this is a bit okay. I'm going to let it dry more, and then I'll take it off the oil. So I'm going to add the mushrooms to it. I don't want the stew to cook 100% before adding the mushrooms. No, I'm adding it to it so that I can get the flavor, the taste, and everything in the mushroom. I washed the mushroom very well and took every dirt from it before slicing and chopping and adding it to the stew. Okay, so I'm going to add some all-purpose seasoning to it, black pepper and white pepper also to it. Yes, this is black pepper. I first added white pepper, and I'm going to add half teaspoon of salt. That is okay. Stir it and allow it to cook. The next thing I'm going to add is the chopped garden eggs, because it's hard and it needs to cook very well. I'm going to add it at this time and allow it to cook with the tomatoes and everything. So by the time the stew will be ready, the garden eggs will be soft and easy to chew, or it will be eatable. And so one thing you can also do is you can boil or steam the garden eggs a bit before you add it to your sauce. Okay, so we are checking on it for some time. We are going to add the chunks to it. It's very dry now. I wish you can taste it. It's very dry. Why is it, Papa? When you put it in your mouth, you can hear some crunchiness. Very hard to chew. So this is it. Add it to it, and I'm going to allow it to cook for about 10 minutes. Yes, so this has cooked very well, and the stew is, at this point, the stew is 100% cooked. Yes, so I have to let the stew cook 100% before I'll add my okro. So when I add the okro, I'm not going to allow it to be on fire for long. I'm also going to add my cucumber. And because cucumber doesn't take long to cook, the moment I add the cucumber, I will add the okros also to it. And so cucumber, because it also serves as garden eggs or something, because you're not adding any meat, something that will be chewable for someone who doesn't take in meat or fish. And so that is it. And so cucumber is also a form of garden eggs, the nature and the attitude. Yes. So we've added our greens to it, and we are going to allow it to cook for some time. So we'll add our onions to it, cover it for 2 to 3 minutes, and that'll be okay for our stew or our okro stew. This is purely vegan. You will love it. You will enjoy this without even knowing that there is no meat or fish in it. So our stew is ready, 100% ready. The garden eggs are soft and everything is okay in there. So you see my greens are in it, and so this is it, and we are going to enjoy it with our swallow. You can see the greens in there. They are not very soft because we didn't cook it too much, and this is our swallow. I have a video on how to prepare swallow, so I will leave the link in the description box for you to watch and also learn it. Thanks so much for being part of this channel. You will enjoy every bit of this vegan meal. Give it a try. Thanks, and God richly bless you. Watch out for another sumptuous recipe on vegan or vegetarian. If you have not yet subscribed, consider subscribing, like and share the video. Bye bye.